Hi, and welcome to Clearing the Chaos. And by chaos, I mean life in Dubai. Several of you have emailed me, DM'd me, or inboxed me with the same questions. You want to know, what is teaching really like in Dubai? In this video, I'm going to answer your top 8 questions to give you kind of an idea of what you can expect to see when you get here. Stay tuned. The first question is, and I have my little notebook because y'all, I'm old now. The first question is, how did you get a job teaching in Dubai? So long story short, one of my friends, his wife, came over here and he was like, Crystal, you should really check it out, because he knew that I was a teacher. And so I did a lot of research. I looked through YouTube, Googled everything that I could find, and I found a recruiting site. And from there, I just filled in a profile. Now, this was like in June. In August, they emailed me and say, hey, are you interested? We have your profile. And I was like, sure. And this was probably like mid-August. I did a phone interview. From that phone interview, I received a second interview that was scheduled in January. Well, lo and behold, another school was interested in a math teacher, because that's what I came over here as. And they said, are you interested in teaching at a private school in Dubai? Of course, Dubai was the hottest thing rocking at that time. Well, still is. And so I was like, yes, I'm interested. I did my Skype interview at the end of August in 2013, and in September 15th or 16th, it depends. I know I left on the 15th, but you know, it's kind of like a day delay with getting over here. September the 16th, 2013, I ended up here. So it all started for me by filling out a profile at one of the recruiting agencies, and that's how I was found. The next question is, what credentials do I need? Now, as you know, KSGA oversees all of private educations in Dubai. Their requirement is that you have a degree in the subject area that you are going to teach. So if you want to teach math, you need to have a degree in math. If you want to teach science, you need to have a degree in some science fields. Now, I am aware, because I've been here for the last 6 years, that there are people who come and they don't have that appropriate subject qualifications, which is what KSGA calls it, and they are able to secure positions. But the requirement is that you have a degree in the area in which you want to teach. Another thing that is in the process now is the teacher licensing system. Now, it wasn't in process when I came, but since 2017, that is now a ongoing process where they are now starting to require everyone to have a certification that you get here. So even if you have your certification back at home, that's fine, that's good, that's going to get your foot in the door, but they also are requiring you to do the teacher licensing here. So those are the credentials that you will need to get started. The next question is, I've applied and I haven't gotten a response. What can I do now? So there are a few things that you could do. So I'm not sure where you have applied or whether or not you just filled out a teacher profile. If you just filled out a teacher profile, keep in mind that there are a few other recruiting agencies that work the international circuit. And some of them are more well known than others. Some of them are free, but sometimes you get the best bang when you actually pay for them. And so I'm going to include in the links in the comments, or that's not the comments, that's the description. In the description, I will include some links to some of the larger recruiting agencies. So if you did not go through those and you really, really want to move to Dubai, then I would say check them out. You have Search Associates, you have ISS, you have Teachaway, you have Thai Online, you have Footprints. So you have several that you can apply to. If you've applied to all of those and you still like, Crystal, I really, really want to teach in Dubai, then you can go straight to the source. You can get the contact information for the principals here. You can find that information on the KSGA report. I did a video about reading the report and where to get that information that I will link for you, so that way it's easy for you to gather that information. And you can actually just send your CV and send your cover letter, letter of philosophy of education, whatever it is that you want to send, you can send it directly to the principal. If he or she is interested, then he or she will definitely contact you. So if you've gone through the recruiting agencies and you have not gotten the response that you want so far, don't worry, all is not lost. I say go straight to the source. Your next question is, what are the students like? I will tell you that I found kids just to be kids. You got some rowdy ones and you have some that are going to follow every single rule that you have. Now, in my experience, I've only worked in private education. I've never worked for a government school here, so I can't speak about government schools. I can tell you that my kids were well behaved. I can tell you that my kids were very mannerable, very respectful. Like, even to this day, those are my babies, even though, you know, like, they're grown and gone now. It was some adjustment. Most of their behavior was about phones, coming to class late, chewing gum. I never had any big or major issues with respect or disrespect or violence or any of those things. I will tell you that if you want to come over here as an educator, it's going to be very similar to what you will experience at home. Kids have to know that you care. You have to build a relationship with them. Now, sometimes I will have the kids in the classroom and, you know, everybody's engaged, everybody's on point doing what they want to do. I go see them in another class and they losing their minds. And it's like, excuse me, is this how we behave? And I really have found that when you set expectations, when you have a relationship with the kids, they will really rise to those expectations. And so I just say that kids are kids. One of the things that I had to do was I had to adjust my personal philosophy on education. I always saw education as a way out of poverty. Well, when you come over here, our kids got Arab money. So, like, they don't need education as a way to build wealth or to change their economic status. They don't need that. They already have it. When they graduate, they have businesses. If you go in the parking lots, it's like the teacher parking lot filled with Toyotas and Fords and some cars you don't even know the name of it. And then when you go to student parking lot, you see Maseratis and Aldis, and you like, well, it's an Aldi. No, Aldi's is actually a supermarket. What is that, Audi? Y'all can tell I don't know much about those things. But just know it's a very fancy, fancy car. And so I really had to adjust my expectation and really hone in on why education was important and really share that with the kids in a different way. So it caused me to expand my own thinking. But going back to your question, the kids are going to be the kids. And if you have a love for education and you have a love for kids, then you're not going to have a problem for the most part. Remember my disclaimer, I've only worked in private education. Okay, I'm still here answering my frequently asked questions about teaching in Dubai. And as you know, I got my little book because that memory ain't as sharp as it used to be. Still pretty sharp though. Don't let these glasses fool you. Yes, so that was my 2-year-old deciding to let me know that she was up for her nap and I need to come. But I'm back still answering your questions. So the next question is, what should I bring? Now, I can go down a list of stuff that you would need to pack. It's only when it comes to actually teaching. The one thing I would say is bring any resources. If you know what grade and subject you'll be teaching, bring any resources that you can electronically. You want to have those available. Ask the school what they have available for you, but some die-hard resources that you know you cannot live without, go ahead and bring those with you. Another thing I want you to bring is an open mind, because this is not mini America. What you are going to experience is going to be different. The systems that you are used to having at home, they won't necessarily be in place here. The culture that you can expect, it will be totally different. It is really going to depend upon what you're walking into, what your student population is, what your teacher population is, and if it's truly an international school or whether or not a particular nationality dominates. you need to have an open mind, because if not, you'll spend many days frustrated. So those are two things that I will suggest that you bring with you when you come. All right, the next question is there an age limit? And the answer is yes. The age limit to work in the UAE is 60 years old. So most contracts are about 2 years. So if you 58 and a half, I would say go ahead and squeeze on in there. I would not let that deter me. It is never too late. But if your birthday has come and you have reached 60, then most schools are going to have to pass, because that's the requirement. So your next question is, what if I don't like it? Now, as fabulous as Dubai is, believe it or not, not everyone enjoys living here. Not everyone enjoys working here. So if you don't like it, you are free to go home. I would just say that you talk to your administrators, let them know what some of the struggles that you are having. There is some adjustments that you're going to have to make when it comes to culture. I would suggest that you also make sure that you build your tribe and your network of supporters, so you can figure out why exactly you don't like it. Most times you're on a 6-month probation when you get here. Make sure that you read your contract so you're clear as to how long your probation lasts. But go in and have a conversation with your admin and let them know what struggles you are having. So if there's something that can be done, then it is done. That's what I would suggest. But if that is not an option, there are other ways for you to bow out gracefully, and I will leave that for another conversation. And we call those people runners. So just make sure that you know you're not forced to stay. And if you make a decision that goes a different way, and you notice I'm watching what I say because I live in Dubai. If you make a decision that's in your best interest that goes a different way, just make sure you have all your ducks in a row before you take that chance. Again, it's not for everybody. I've lived here for the last 6 years and I absolutely love it. But I have had colleagues that have stayed a few months. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. One time this lady, she stayed 2 days. I don't know what happened, what the breakdown was, but she was just like, you know what? I'm out. Went to the apartment, everything was gone. That was her personal belongings. And so it happens like that. If you don't like it, you don't have to stay. There are other areas that you might want to try. If you want to stay abroad, I have friends in Northern Africa. I have friends in China. I have friends in Korea. So it could be just you finding where it best fits for you. Okay, fine people, my baby has decided that this is going to be the end of this video. So you keep those questions coming and I will probably have to make a part 2 or 3 in order to answer them. I want to say thank you for spending the last few minutes with me. I hope that you find this video informative and helps prepare you for your life in Dubai. If you like what you saw, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you're like, Crystal, go ahead and hit that thumbs down. I'm fine with it. Make sure that you like and you subscribe. And make sure you ring the bell so that you get notifications for my videos. My goal is to upload a new video every Thursday, providing you with more information about living and working in Dubai. As always, thank you for clearing the chaos with me.